Hey again, welcome to Sneakerphiles Live with Brooke Hoetzer. I am Eugene of the Sneakerphiles podcast, and you are watching a brand new episode of Sneakerphiles Live. And before we start, I'd like to let you guys know how to find us, and that's at www.sneakerphiles.com. You can find us on Twitter at Sneakerphiles and on Instagram at Sneakerphiles_podcast. And here's your host, Brooke.
What's going on, guys? We're back at it finally. Sorry, the past 2 weeks have kind of been pretty busy. My close friends and people that follow me know that I work for a large company that released some new products, so that was exhausting. And just getting over feeling like crap from the weather. But we're back and we're gonna keep it constant for you guys. So hopefully you'll join tonight, and we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. All right. All right.
Hey again, welcome to Sneakerphiles Live with Brooke Hoetzer. I am Eugene. You can find us online at www.sneakerphiles.com. You can find us on Twitter at Sneakerphiles, and you can find us on Instagram at Sneakerphiles_podcast. Thank you everyone for joining and watching with us. And a few things I'd like to say is if you haven't done so, maybe you can please hit that subscribe and like button. That'll help us a lot. And if you like what you're watching, just go back and watch some of the older episodes. That'd be great. And I'm going to introduce to you your host for today, Brooke.
What's going on, guys? We missed a couple shows, but we're back at it. It's good to be back chatting with you guys. So hopefully we'll have some fun in the chat tonight, just to kind of go over. We're going to have a different flow of tonight's episode, more of kind of just going with the flow. So it's been a busy couple of weeks, so we're back.
So anything new that you've copped, or what do you want? How do you want to get into this?
Oh my gosh, man!
What are we gonna do?
2 weeks worth of cops. Whew. All right. So yeah. So we can get into that. So
you know what?
I'll try to make.
Before we start,
Yeah,
there's a few people already in watching right now. So if you guys can please just hit that like and subscribe, and get into the chat, man. Like everything we're talking about today, feel free to let us know how you feel about it. I know we're gonna be talking about what we've copped for the last 2 weeks. You can get back into this and help us join the chat and contribute a little bit, and we will get back to you guys every time you guys have something to say. So go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, comment. Tell me if what I copped is whack, or if you cop the same thing, or what you've gotten. So wow, 2 weeks, man. Actually, a lot has happened within the 2 weeks. So in the previous episodes, like Eugene said, if you look back and kind of watch what we've talked about, it's kind of just talking about just constant, just overdoing hype beast heat that people think are grails, or people think that are really sick kicks, but in all honesty, they're not. Yeezy, especially for example, Yeezy has turned into something that is not, in my opinion, not a grail by all means. Maybe if you have a turtle dove, then we can talk, or a moon rock or an Oxford tan, but anything else, that's it.
Now you're talking about Yeezys not being a grail, and I know you felt differently maybe 12 months ago. What made you switch from, always anticipating the next Yeezy drop to, trying really hard to get the next Yeezy? What's changed for you the last 6 or 12 months since you've kind of switched over to your anticipation of any new Yeezy releases?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna apologize in advance if I itch a lot. Last week I did a photo shoot in the woods, and I got like eaten alive by mosquitoes. So if you see me itching a lot in my arms, that's why. But besides that, yes. So I was at work, and just little things have like really just started to hit me about just this whole entire just like hype. And don't get me wrong, like I still I'll get into what I did end up keeping and what I got rid of. But something that kind of just like gave like I just was like, what the fuck? There's just constantly kids coming into the mall with like just fucking Yeezy Zebras on, just like high socks Adidas, Yeezy Zebras, like some stupid ass like shirt. And it's just gotten to the fact where it's like, where are we anymore? Like, what is this? Like, do you really think that that's like a grail? Because in my opinion, if someone came up to me in like a pair of Zebra Yeezys and like wanted to talk about sneakers, I would just be like, nah, all right. Like maybe they're really into it. But if someone came up to me and was wearing a pair of like a pair of Jordan DBs or just something crazy, like something, or like a pair of up tempos that are like super duper rare, like for me, I would geek out so much harder with someone. Like, I don't know, like I just feel like it's just changed so much because it's just like people think that that's the hype, and in my opinion, like it's just not. Like it like I sold, so for instance, I sold my cream Yeezys, I sold my pink stripe Yeezys, and I also sold I sold another one. I sold my bread Yeezys. And the reason why I decided to sell those, I kept my Belugas, I kept my Moon Rocks, and I kept my Zebras, was just because I felt like it was just too much. Like it was too much of the same silhouette of just something that like I used to really like because it was more rare. And I'm not saying that I only purchase things that are rare, but I just got to a point where I'm just sick of having what everyone else just has. Like for a 13-year-old to have like the same shoe as me, like that's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm really trying to highlight is the fact that I would rather save my money and kind of invest it into something that's like super duper hard to find, or something that you don't see anymore, or something that has like a real story behind it. And I kind of just let them go, just because it just wasn't something that really suits me anymore.
I know that you've been. Sorry, I know that you've been a huge collector of hypey stuff, and you kind of, for the last maybe 2016 in general, you were really huge into Boosts, right? So
yeah, I really was.
So do you think the mentality of you going into... Oh, first of all, Buckeye City Soul's in the chat, so shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to my mans right there. Buy them purples. Wait till you see the photos. I did a shoot today, man.
He has a few things to say about the kiths, but...
oh, okay.
I know 2016 and 2015 was huge for Adidas Boosts, and I know even in Canada, as low as their supply is, a lot of the Boost shoes, Ultra Boost, NMDs, and whatnot, are kind of sitting on the shelves, and I never thought that would happen. So do you think you're just not following the trend, but do you think you've seen enough of Boost, or you don't want to be associated with some people that fuck with Boost, or do you just see a shift, like a change in your style or what you find trendy?
So back to like young sneakerhead Brooke, like I was always into Nike. I always wore Nike. The one shoe that intrigued me into Adidas was Yeezy. So where I work, a lot of people are into sneakers. So like you will see a lot of fire, like just with like coworkers and different stuff like that. Like a lot of people are into either just basic things like Vans or Converse or crazy New Balances, or just you'll see like Nike kill shots. Like you'll see just some crazy rare stuff a lot at my job. And I always wore Nike, and I never really liked Boost first getting into it, but then I got into Yeezys, and then I purchased like an Ultra Boost, and then I'm the type of person, and it's bad, like I can't, like I don't know how some people do it, like I can't fuck with like, and it's just me, I don't know why, I like to stick to one thing. Like I can't fuck with like New Balance, Saucony, Converse is different. So like Saucony, Puma, Nike, Adidas. Like I don't like having, like that's cool for some people that have a various wide collection, but I like to have like one brand where like I like am familiar with it. I know my size in it. It's just people know me like, oh, you rock Adidas, or oh, you rock Nike. Like a kid at my work fucks so hard with Puma, and he rocks it so great. that he's known for that. Like, he's known for Pumas. Like, if tomorrow I go into work and he's wearing a pair of New Balance, I'm like, why the fuck are you wearing them right now? Like, in my opinion, like, when I really dive deep into one brand, I focus on one brand. I don't know. I'm just weird like that.
So, do you see yourself, like, you know, like moving on to another brand anytime soon, or you're just expanding your collection, or it's just like based on, you know, budget and styles?
Not that. I mean, I work really hard and I hustle. So, like, when it comes to budget, like, if I want a shoe, I'm going to buy it. Or if I want something, I'll buy it. You know that, Eugene. But besides that, like, I've always really been into Nike. And I think I fell off because I was kind of given into the hype of Boost. And something that kind of just, like, changed my whole, like, integrity of that brand is the fact that, like, there's so many people that have kind of ruined it for me because they're like, oh, like, they just won't try. It's just too snobby for me. And the fact that, like, that's the style game, like, I don't like that. I don't. And plus, I actually personally think my style, I rock Nike better.
That's true. I do like those photos of you wearing Nikes more so than Boost, because Boost is, I wouldn't say basic, it's just Boost is one of those shoes that's just made so that anyone can kind of wear them casually, and you know, it doesn't take too much skill to make them look good. That's all it is for me.
For me too, like, as a runner, what really killed it for me for Boost was how they say that they're the best running shoes, and it, like, that really fucking, like, really, like, put them, like, they're not, like, no. Like, for the technology that they amp up, like, so high, and for the cost of the shoe, it's not worth it. Like, maybe if it was priced as, like, a pure Boost for, like, 120, maybe, yeah. But I don't know. Like, I look back and I think about, like, how I would hunt for, like, the social status, like, Ultra Boost and different stuff like that. And it's just like, what the... though. Come on. Like, what the... Yeah, but, like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, I don't know. It just became too much. And I just wanted to get out of that, like, that phase. Definitely. I didn't want to be a part of that.
So before we go on, let's just give a few shout-outs to the people in the chat right now. So we got Timbastan, thank you. Balenciaga Bobby, we got you. We got Craig Dunsmuir. We got Buckeye City Soul, what's up? We got we got Beer Jedi in the room. So thank you so much for dropping by. And a lot of the people in the chat are talking about something that I know you've recently picked up and you've already posted. And how do you feel about the Kith Pippins that you recently had a chance to cop?
So I'm really eager for you to read me what people are saying in this right now. I don't have it pulled up. I kind of like to just go with the flow. Right. I probably should. But besides that, before I get into what I feel, if the comments that they're mentioning are related to some tweets that I saw about the quality of the shoe, is that what it is?
Buckeye said he just got his Maestros and there is black shit all over them, so that's probably a quality thing.
So he got the red ones. I saw someone actually tweet who got the red ones. I had no issues. Mine were pristine right out of the box. And the box was lit. Like, this box is the best sneaker box I've ever seen in my life. So I've seen people tweet that the shoe looked worn. It had scuffs on it. There was no tissue paper in it. I don't know. I got tissue paper in it. I got a box. I got, like, a little thank you card. Like,
so yours maybe checked out.
You should buy the purple ones. But mine had no problems.
Yeah, Kevin, or Buckeye City Soul didn't really say exactly how he feels about the shoe, except for the fact that he's not happy with having black shit all over the shoe.
I don't blame you. I don't know how Kith does refunds either. I think it's like, there's no returns.
Well, if there's a defect, they can at least take it back and give you your money. But come on, who would do that? We got Victor Chow in here. He's saying that he stupidly did an ATC for the Reds and he copped 3 pairs. So I don't know if he got really lucky or I don't know, man. Like, maybe he can get rid of a couple pairs. Maybe there's, you know, people that actually want them. So I know on those resale apps and websites and whatnot, they're not going for too much over retail, if any at all. So
I think it's going to go up. I think after tomorrow's drop, it's going to go up big time because a lot of people are waiting for tomorrow too. You got to think about it. This is a 2-week thing.
So Victor's saying he's not lucky that he got 3 pairs.
Oh God. I mean, if you want to like put one on ice, I think it's gonna be. I honestly think it's gonna go up because
Right.
look at, for example, look at the Supreme up tempos that came out. One of my friends got the red ones, and he ended up selling them right away for like 350. Those motherfuckers are going for like $1,000
Right.
now. Sometimes, like honestly, when you purchase something as bad as you want your money back in your account, you have to sit on it for a bit because it's going to go up.
Right.
Like I sold so many things like low selling and I kicked myself for it. Like when I sold my one pair of acronyms that were too big on me. Like I legit regret that because they go for anywhere from $700 to $1,000 and I sold them for 400. So sometimes you have to sit. But yeah, I have seen tweets about the quality issue. Luckily, there was nothing wrong with mine.
So you
Maybe
got.
it will make
I,
people not want to buy the Beast tomorrow because I'm trying to cop.
yeah, that Beast one. That's one of those very divisive shoes where like a lot of people are like, "That's clown," and like a lot of people, such as myself, really actually like that pattern on Nike.
Yeah, I'm gonna try for it.
Like I don't know if how familiar. I think I showed you a long time ago a pair of Atmos Air Max ones or N90s that also had a that Beast pack. They have that leopard.
Yeah,
And
they were
whatever
super
pattern.
furry.
And
They were
this,
dope though.
and this really does remind me of that Atmos pack that came out years ago. And just because of that, I really dig the new kith that's coming out tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow 11 Eastern time. So I'm definitely gonna try. Last drop, I got the purples, and I also grabbed a hoodie from it, and the hoodie is super duper nice quality.
I know that.
Like
Sorry,
Kith
go ahead.
quality compared to Supreme, Kith is so much better quality. Comfort wise,
Right.
I recently got a Supreme hoodie, and that shit is hard as fuck. I was like, damn.
Well, here's the thing. I know Kith started out as like a retail store and everything. They were selling, Nikes and other sneaker brands and whatnot. And then eventually they came out with a lot of their own in-house apparel. And now that they've ramped up that kind of recognition, their in-house apparel are actually selling really well and good for them. Like they started out with like a very
Yeah.
small store and like now their shit is reselling on the secondary market for money. So props to Kith for doing it right, I guess.
Their Monday releases, that shit sells out in like a minute. I tried to cop one of it was like the dark crew neck, and I was at work, and of course I was in an interaction and I couldn't break free. So I wasn't able to like get on it, and I got on it like 11:01, and it was like sold out. I was like, fuck.
You know what's going on
Fuck
in
yeah.
what's going on in the chat right now. We got a couple of people. We got Victor with 3 pairs of 9.5 kiths, and we got Balenciaga Bobby here that's trying to buy one of those pairs. So I think there's a transaction going on right in the chat right
Hey, there you go.
Look
I
at
love
us giving
it.
back to the
Sneaker
community.
love. Yes, do
now.
it.
So anyways,
Don't give him the bad quality pair.
no, that was Kevin. That was a Bug-Eye said he sold with the bad ones. He can't even resell it because there's shit all over him. And like, unless he takes a hit or whatever, I have no idea what he's gonna do with it. So, Bug-Eye said he
I
sold.
would dispute the charge on your credit card.
You should-
They're pretty good with that.
You should definitely like Instagram or do something with the shoes. Like, make sure people are aware of that situation and like hopefully there's some sort of retribution for it. I have no idea what they can do, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's so crazy that you said that because honestly, when I was waiting for us to record, I was just scrolling through. Let me see if I can find the tweet. I was just scrolling through on. Oh, he just tweeted it. Oh my God, Kev, those are woof. That looks really. He just tweeted the picture of them. That looks really bad. That looks legit like someone stepped on the sneaker and put it in a box. That does not look good at all.
Well, I'll have to take a look at it later. Hey, Pierre. Hey, how's it going, Pierre? He's in the house.
Hey, Pierre. Yeah, so that really sucks. I would be really sad about that. And at first, I will say, when wearing the shoe, like putting them on your foot, it feels like it's going to be super duper, like not easy to get on. But honestly, it's like it's like the Iron Man suit. When you put your foot in, it like slips your just foot right into the shoe and it locks it in. See, that's why I
interesting.
can never resell certain shoes because I wear them right away, especially if I want them.
That's the
Terrible.
thing, man. Like, I know that you are a big advocate of wearing the shoes that you get right away and, like, taking your glamour shots and all that stuff. So that's good. At least, like,
Gotta do it for the gram.
I'm not into that.
Hashtag.
But you know what? You know how I am. So,
Yeah,
besides the
boxes
kith,
on.
anything interesting of note that you want to share that you've picked up?
Yeah, so I recently came across one of my friends who works at a Foot Locker had a pair of the reverse shattered backboards, and he had them in a size 6, and I usually wear a 7 in Jordan 1s. And everyone knows I really want the OG ones. These were the 2.0 ones, and I really want the OG ones, but we'll talk about that too. And he's like, no, like it will stretch, they'll fit you, blah blah blah. So I'm like, fuck it. He's gonna sell them to me for retail. Let me just buy them, and I'll try to like fit. So I buy them, and I put my foot in it, and I was like, it's gonna be too tight. Like if I wear these all day long, I'm gonna kill myself. So I ended up selling them on StockX for about like $270, and then I came across my pair, someone that was trying to get rid of them for $170. So I did the flippity flop. So that was a pickup. If you follow me on Instagram, at BrookeYDoo, BROOKEYDOOO, you'll be able to see the shots of me in that. I actually did a photo shoot with Iron Oak Studio. There also information is on my blog too. You can find the link in the bio. And really happy with that pair. I love Jordan 1s, and I really, really want to get my hands on a pair of the reverse backboards. But the price point for my size is so high right now. I had someone who I was going to pick them up from, but he was being too suspect with questions. He wouldn't take a picture of the stamp that's inside of the box. You know how it's in like every Air Jordan 1? Yeah. He was like, this is too much work. I'm going to not continue with this. I'm like, all right, cool. Fucking dick.
You just kind of got to pick your battles with, trying to buy. And if it's, I don't know, man. When I try to personally make a sell and people are asking for certain photos, like first I asked, like, if you actually want them and we're good on the price, I'll go ahead and send you those photos. But like, that's just me being accommodating to as a seller. And when people are refusing certain, requirements that you're asking for to make a sale, like if they don't want to do it, then I would definitely stay away from those deals.
Yeah, Kev actually, Buckeye City sold. Thank you to him. He was telling me, and Pierre, because I was showing Pierre images, and Pierre was saying he used to work for eBay or whatever. He was saying that the photos looked like they were like stock photos from somewhere else too. But the nice thing about buying off of like eBay is you are protected with PayPal, so you do get that money back guaranteed. But it kind of puts you in a pickle with your money like going in, back in and out. But another steal that I got was a pair of that I've always loved, and I don't know why. I just had a crazy feeling to pick them up. Were the LeBron South Beaches. So they were another one. Mm-hmm.
I know that you've been looking at these South Beaches for a while. Is there any particular reason why you're a big fan of that particular shoe?
I just love the color. You know what it is? I love the fucking laces. I love the laces of that shoe, how they pop. And I am a LeBron James fan. I know you're not. Sorry about that. But I do like that. But I want to hear from anyone in the chat. Like, how does everyone feel about what dropped? Like, did anyone pick up anything from Supreme today, or did anyone cop the Citron trainers, the yellow ones?
Actually, before we move on, I want to get your take on something. I want
hit me
a 10-second kind of explanation. Do you like or dislike, and why, of the not leak but like the announced colorways of the LeBron 15s?
Ooh, this is a really great question, because this is what I wanted to talk about. I like them a lot, and it's actually crazy because I don't know if I read this right. Aren't they making 2 styles, one for the court and one for lifestyle? Or was that like, or are they both for the court?
I think that everything's made for the court. It's just some of them are.
But they're trying to get more into lifestyle with that zipper, right?
Yes, the zipper, I can't imagine it being too comfortable or safe on the court. But at the same time, they do look really, really nice.
The floral ones are fly.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of the Supreme Foam kind of pattern.
Yeah, the foam posits.
And after that, it's just like, like I personally wouldn't get it just because LeBron. And I'm guessing, like I'm not into modern kind of basketball shoes. I'm more into retros, and that's just me being old and shit. But That's
AKA why you're not picking up the knits.
oh shit! You want to talk about that after this? And basically
Yeah,
for me,
we'll go into that.
until the LeBrons actually come up with something crazy spectacular, kind of like when they did the corks, I was really into that. When they did South Beach, I was into that. And for me, no colorway can save the last couple of silhouettes for me, and that's just a shame. The bright side about this 15 is like it's much better than say the last 3 years of the LeBron signature line. And I know they're kind of scraping the bottom when you're saying like, oh, it's better than last year's. Like you can't really go worse than last year. So it's just for me. I think it's a good step in the right direction for Nike to be doing that. And like they're paying LeBron how much money, so they have to make their money back somehow, right?
No, I agree with you. I think it's a good step for them. It's kind of like a shoe that I really love, and it's impossible to find my size in, is the what the KD 6 is. Like the KDs, before they started getting all fucking like crazy looking, I thought were like, I love them. I like the what the KD 6s were so hot, but I could never find my size. Like that is a shoe that like I would love to have in my collection. But being, I think that is a really great move that Nike's doing with LeBron, because I think that's going to be something that's going to super duper sell out. And going into, the whole retro to more like newer look, that brings up the topic of the Royals that are coming out, the Flyknits. Personally, I agree with you. I do like the OG look of it better, but I will admit, they just redid the Foot Locker in the mall that I work at, and they had the bread ones there, and they actually aren't as horrible as I thought they would look.
Okay, so they're not as.
But I still would prefer an OG bread over them.
Of course, I think that's what everyone was saying is like, if you already have the OG 2016 breads, then like there's no real reason to get the Flyknits. And I think it's going to be the same for the Royals. As highly produced as the OG Royal ones earlier this year was, like some people didn't get it, and maybe this is kind of like a consolation prize to get the Flyknits.
Yeah, recently, actually Nike sent me a free pass to get the Royals, but I already have the Royals. I would, at a discount, I would think about purchasing the bread Flyknits just to have the breads in my collection. But I'm pretty sure I can find a grade school online for the same price. So I would probably just get the OG one. But I'm trying to kind of limit my sneaker purchases and not buy just everything that I really want and kind of keep it to a min to kind of wear what I have right now. But yeah.
So in the chat, we got a couple of people with their verdict. Balenciaga Bobby says he's going to pass. Timba Stan says he's going to sleep on those. And the only Royal that he's looking for is the AM1s. He's also saying that he's waiting for the Bordeaux 12s. So I'm guessing most people that collect sneakers on regular is going to pass on these, probably for the same reason I was just saying, is because they already have the OG Royal ones. And, like the OG Royal ones I was so happy with that they did it right. And then like exactly what we asked for last year, like when the bread ones came out and like everybody loved that makeup of the shoe and like the quality and everything. Everyone's just saying, I hope they do the Royals like this as well, and then they did, and Nike doing the right things. So yeah, I'm crazy happy with my OG Royal ones from earlier this year, and there's absolutely no need for me to get the Etsy ones.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I wouldn't purchase them. My favorite one, honestly, is the black toe, though. That's my favorite sneaker that I have. If someone came to my house and was like, we're taking all of your shoes, you can only pick one. You can only pick one. I would definitely say I'm keeping my Air Jordan 1 black toes, because you can wear them with anything. You honestly can.
Dude, you know what I saw last week that absolutely made me like, okay, I need to save up. I need to fucking talk to my sources, my not plugs.
The Off-White?
No, fuck Off-White, man. I know Off-White. Not fuck Off-White like that, but like as in, I know no matter who I ask, how nicely I ask, no one's going to help me get a pair of those. The one I'm actually really looking forward to, and I actually believe I might have a chance in getting, that would be the Roger Federer Vapor AJ3s in the jade colorway. That looks like the Atmos elephant print. Have you seen this thing yet?
No, you have to text me a picture.
I'll text it to you right now. Anyways, it's, you know how the Roger Federers have the, what do you call those?
Oh wait, Are they coming out soon in November?
November-ish.
Yeah, I think I saw them in the sneakers app and Up and Coming. They
Yeah,
have the same print as that. You tweeted about them. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're nice.
those ones I absolutely want, and like it's just I don't know. I love those shoes, and like I've never owned a pair of the Roger Federers, and it's just I don't know. I would really, really like a pair of those. I know they will be impossible to get, but at least I feel like I have a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're on the screen right now. It's basically I hear it's also an Atmos collab. So we got Roger Federer, one of my favorite tennis players of all time, doing an AJ3, one of my the favorite basketball of mine of all time, and we got Atmos, one of my favorite collaborators with Nike of all time. So all these three, like that's a deadly fucking combo for me not to try and cop, right? So
yeah,
it's just as soon as I heard that, I'm like, is that some guy photoshopping something that they would like to see, or how did it go? It's just and now I want a pair of these like really bad.
yeah, I see them. They're nice.
So
They're not my style, but I could see you rocking them.
it is what it is. I actually like.
You know what I like that's coming out on Saturday? And if anyone in the chat is like, I know you don't have it, Eugene, but it's on the sneakers app. The Vandal Highs.
Funny thing is
don't they remind you of that Supreme collaboration that they did a bit ago?
I guess I know the Vandal Highs is one of those. They call it like a luxury line or whatever it is, and I think that
they're only $90.
and I know that they should be coming out in Canada as well, like according to Kicksteel CA. So hopefully we get them. Like I'm not gonna get them. It's just I know that a lot of people are looking forward to these, and like it's one of those shoes. Like it's not so hype, but at the same time, the right people that want them are like good representatives of the sneaker culture. So I'm happy about that.
I think they're gonna look fire on foot. It's a shoe that I really fucking regret getting, and Sean Go killed the review of them. We talked about this the last time we were on the chat. Are those Air Max 97s? Those Atlantic blue. It's like that blue with that neon. I had like on Twitter, it was like sizes left, and I'm like, should I cop? I was like, I don't know. And I always should cop when Nike has it because it's always free returns. But besides that, I really regret not picking that shoe up because I love the look of it. I like them a lot.
The year of the Air Max 97s, man, it's a good year so far, and I know we're getting more too, so it's kind of crazy. And actually, the last shoe I want to talk about that's coming out, or has come out, depending on where you live, is the Nike Flyknit trainers in that yellow colorway. I don't know the official name of that color. How do you feel about the yellow Flyknit trainers?
I need to see them in person, so that's why I ordered them. Yeah. So I like them. I think that there's something about them that's gonna make them really pop. I like the trainers in general. I really want a pair of black and white trainers, I want them to bring that colorway back for next, and I would love to see like a dark purple one perhaps, or a maroon. But I really, really like. I don't know, something about those yellow ones. I kind of need to see them. What are your thoughts? And you were right, they are sitting.
I don't mind them, but at the same time, like it is really, really yellow, and I've never owned a shoe in that shade and that predominant color of yellow before. If they were to go on sale and I can just grab them off the rack, I would definitely get them just to beat them up. It's not something I would be like super pristine about, and like I can't wear these. It's not a nice day.
No.
So yeah, they're a crazy nice shoe. And actually, Victor Chow had something to ask, and is very, very relevant right now. And I don't know if you saw images of this, but like you'd be a fool if you haven't seen them or living under a rock. And that is I don't know if it's a rumor or official, but what do you think of the photos that has leaked about the Pharrell Chanel human races?
Hold on a second. Let me.
They're a pair of like the human races that the NMDs.
Are they yellow?
No, dude. They're black, and they say something on one side and Chanel on the other side.
I don't get what's the point behind Chanel? Like, why Chanel?
Why not
Why?
Chanel? Because it's Pharrell. He's fucking decadent, man.
Um, the only ones that I really like out of that whole collection of the ones that I've seen images of are the ones that say breathe on them. They're the only ones that I would want to get. Me personally, I don't like that's the thing. So this is something else that bugs me. So like I don't wear Chanel at nothing. Maybe I've had like their fragrance before, but like it's kind of like the people that wear like real like thrasher shirts all the time and they don't skateboard or different stuff like that. I would never promote something like that I'm not really like into or I rock. Like a lot of people that bought the fucking recent Supreme drop of the piss and semen, like you're an idiot. Why do you want to wear something that has blood, piss, and semen all over you? Like that does not sound like a good time to me. Um, so like that's just something that I just wouldn't want to be about. Like looking at them, they're pretty cool, but I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't go for them. I would go for the ones that say breathe.
Someone in the chat, let me see who it is. They said Victor Chow says that. Pierre saying that Chanel trying to stay relevant because LV is killing it. So we saw earlier this year.
Oh, that's a good point, Pierre. Good point. Good for you. Two for you.
So we saw earlier in the year, LV did a collaboration with a streetwear brand, Supreme, and that was hugely successful in both the luxury world and the light and the lifestyle world of fashion. And now it seems like a lot of these different brands are trying to get on board with, a younger demographic, not just like successful old business people or like trophy wives kind of demographic. And
yeah,
and I guess Chanel maybe is trying to stay relevant with this move with Adidas, and Adidas is the hottest, trendiest thing around right now when it comes to the younger consumers of the world. So how do you feel about that statement that Chanel might be trying to stay relevant and competing with the likes of like LV when it comes to a younger demographic?
That is definitely relatable. I think Pierre brought up a really good point with that. It's kind of like, for example, like how what is it? Stone Island just did the collaboration with Supreme. They want to just get promoted. So I can definitely see that. However, like a lot of people, like it's kind of weird that he picked Chanel out of like every brand. Like why not Gucci or something like that? Just because you see a lot of people with like Gucci flip-flops. Like I never see anyone out rocking Chanel. It's kind of like weird. Like or maybe even like Calvin Klein or Guess. Not Chanel. That's a wild card, in my opinion.
Calvin Klein and Guess are not even in the same tier as Chanel and Gucci and all that stuff. And like,
but that's like what the hype is right now. Like the hype is people wearing Calvin Klein shirts, people wearing Guess shirts, people wearing Champion sweatshirts. Like the Champion sweatshirts that are selling at Urban Outfitters for like 80 or like $90. Yeah, I do have one, but whatever. But you can get that same fucking shit at like Kohl's. You could have gotten it at like Kohl's like years ago, which is like crazy for like $20.
Okay, here's the main kind of conflict I have with this collaboration, and you can correct me if you don't agree. Is that Adidas NMD's very popular shoe, Pharrell very influential musician and whatever you want to call him, music producer, and he developed this human race to be an all inclusive kind of line for people to recognize diversity and all that stuff. And there's nothing less inclusive than luxury brands targeted at the one percenters. So why would you collaborate a fucking luxury brand with something like as monumental as the human race line? That's the only conflict I have with something like this.
Because they have collateral, so people that can't get the human races, they can just hit them with, oh well, you can get a pair of the Pharrell tennis shoes. That's what it is.
That's ridiculous.
That's the back, like that's the thing. It's like if you're a big baller, if you have time to like wait, if you have money to spend, buy the high end ones. If you can't afford it, we got this guy for you. It's always that like generic brand solution. That's with anything in life. Like when the Ultra Boost came out, what was that fucking shoe? The Supernovas or like the LTD ones or whatever, like the STs. It's like, oh, can't get this one. Why don't you get the generic one? Or those ugly ass. Oh my god, the shoe that I hate the most are those NMDs that are like not NMDs, but they look like them. They look like a pair of the Wings and Horns. They're awful looking. And it's just like that cheaper like outlet solution rather than being able to get yourself a pair. It's what it is. But it's kind of like how they bring back, retros like
Right.
and different things like that.
Yeah.
It's just the world. But
So
I understand what you're saying.
that's just. I'm not saying like, oh, just because of that, like I don't agree with the message, and I'm just
It's also kind of
confused by the
comical.
message.
Yeah, it's also kind of comical that for like a shoe that has a thing about just like everyone being equal, like why the fuck would you do Chanel for something like that? Like that's kind of like pinpointing like high end. Like, are you just like, I thought we were all the same humans. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. Not about it.
Like I said, dope looking shoe. I've always loved the Human Race NMD line. I don't own any of it. I know you have a pair or had a pair or whatever the case is. And I love this design. I love Chanel and all that stuff. But at the same time, confused by the message. And I probably won't get a pair. So it's, a moot point for me. So is there anything you want to get into? Because there's one or two topics I kind of want to get into before we move on.
No, let's stop. Let's dive into it.
Okay. One thing I would like to mention is I know one of the biggest news in the sneaker world right now is the abandonment of one of the consignment stores in the States by the name of Pound for Pound. Have you heard of this story yet?
No. What is it?
Pound for Pound is one of the consignment stores in the States. They have like multiple locations, and they've had a bad record as of late. I'm guessing they started out well and everything. They ended up delaying over and over payments of consignees that have sold their shoes through the store, and then eventually they would be we'll get you back later, and they were never paid, and then one day the stores just were abandoned. And
sounds like any social club.
it's not exactly to that degree.
I have a dispute with those motherfuckers.
And the main issue is that people have money owed to them. People have shoes that they've consigned into their store, and like now people are either out of their shoes or they're out of the money owed to them, and they've abandoned it.
How does that work? How do they get that back?
They can't. The guy, the store owner and everything just legit ghosted, right? And like now, what can you do except for hire lawyers and seek this guy out? Like it's a big deal. And I only bring this up, and like I know everyone has already talked about it, and the main reason why I wanted to bring this up is because the Sneakerphiles podcast is partnered with another consignment store here in Canada. They're partnered with Stay Fresh sneakers consignment store, and you can actually find their links
on your
below.
shirt.
Yeah, right here. And I've been messing with them since they've opened 3 years ago, and I can tell you that this pound for pound incident is guaranteed, like definitely an isolated incident, and that people that open these shops and everything, they have very, very good intentions and this and that. Sometimes shit goes bad and whatnot, and just because this is this one dude that seems like he's like allegedly he's a crook and everything, doesn't mean any of the other consignment stores out there aren't there to do good business and everything. And like when it comes to like selling sneakers and everything, it's a very finicky market, and like they are putting up your shoes up for sale. I understand exactly how sensitive something like that might be, and I just want people to understand that like don't judge every single business based on one or two bad examples. And another thing I want to touch on is that I've legit seen some very poor arguments and some unfounded criticism of consignment stores, that being their prices are too high, their service is so and so, and that's a huge concern. Not concern, but like that worries me a lot, that people don't understand how things work. And
Yeah.
and I understand, like, if you don't like the prices, it's very easy, just don't shop there, right? But like I've seen people message the store saying like, I have a pair of whatever shoe, how much can you buy it for? Because consignment stores also do buyouts instead of just consigning. And then the Stay Fresh just replied, we can give you like they're still found on shelves, we can at most give you retail. And the guy's like, so they're worth more than retail. I'm like, sorry, we can only offer you retail. And then the guy's like, so I can walk into your store and buy this pair that I'm trying to sell to you for retail? And the store just very strategically replies like, no, when we buy it in, we still need to mark it up to make profit and everything. and the guy's just like, okay, then you're just screwing the seller. And like when I saw that, and I'm like, what is it that you don't understand about how business works?
Then privately resell them. Why would someone buy your shoe and sell it for it? There's no profit. There's no growth. Like, people are so stupid.
Like, rent's expensive, wages expensive. Like, people don't understand. Like, it's not a non-profit organization that these stores are operating under. Like, they have to make ends meet and fucking pocket a couple of dollars change at the end of it. So it just frustrates me that people are going there in an unfounded kind of way to, you know, criticize certain businesses, not just consignment stores. I'm talking about a lot of other businesses, not fashion and sneaker related as well. And like, I know that Stay Fresh gets a lot of heat just because their prices are higher than if you were to go on Craigslist or eBay or whatever. It's just like, no, guys, you need to understand, like, an overhead for a physical brick and mortar store is a little bit higher than, you know, listing some shit on eBay from your basement. That's all it is. And like,
no, I agree with you, because you get that when you try to sell shoes personally to people, you get lowballed by shit. This one kid was like, I'll give you $300 for your Yeezys. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you stupid? Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, if I sold any shoe, like, I have a pair of Ultra Boosts that I would sell, but I would only sell them like for what I paid for. I would not take any nickel or any less than it, because I'll just keep them then. Like, it's not worth it. Like, people are just always trying to scam and look for a deal, but like, then people don't understand that when you do that, like, to someone, like, not speaking like high up on myself, but like, for someone like me, I have connections. I move sneakers sometimes. I'm able to get certain things. If you fuck with someone that like has that type of connection and like kind of lowball them, or you kind of like just give a bad transaction or anything like that, you're done. You're not going to get nothing in like going forward. So people just don't understand that.
So I know that we are like the Sneakerphiles podcast is personally like affiliated with Stay Fresh, and I'm not just speaking on behalf of that one store. I'm talking about every other store out there. Like, I understand that your prices are higher than Facebook and eBay and all that shit, but like, they're like the convenience store of sneakers.
And it's, you know, it's authentic too.
And so that's the thing, man. That's
what it comes down.
If there's any issues with the shoe, you know where they're gonna be, kind of deal. Like, but when you buy it on Craigslist, like, really, really good luck on, you know, like, finding the guy that sold them to you. So that's all I had to say.
Do people really buy sneakers on Craigslist? I never have bought, like, I do eBay, or like, if I don't do StockX, I would do eBay.
I know I don't buy sneakers off Craigslist, but I do see them listed on Craigslist. So someone out there is buying them.
I don't fuck with GOAT just because that whole time when I had the bid and fucking forgot about it and they charged me, and then they like canceled it, but then they fucking charged me $30 for shipping when the fucking item didn't even ship. Yeah, so I don't fuck with GOAT at all. But it kind of sucks because their prices are better than StockX. I wonder down the road if StockX will ever sell used shoes. Like, kind of like how GOAT does.
I think that market is way too hard to control. Like, for me, if I were to sell a shoe, I'd be like, that's a 9 out of 10. And then when you see it, no, that's like a 5. So there's too much discrepancy in it. Maybe if they set some sort of, I don't know, like, if they send it in to StockX and they grade it themselves, kind of like comic books and hockey cards, maybe that's one
Oh my
way.
God, they would have so many sneakers, though, in their, like,
and
place.
That's why they're not going to do that anytime soon.
Well, with GOAT, you can take a picture of the shoe that you're selling and list it. So, like, you can look through the shoes if it's used. Like, you're not just buying a used sneaker that says 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or damaged box or this or that. Right. You actually can see photographs of it. So it's kind of buy at your own discretion, like kind of like how you would buy a used shoe on, like, eBay then.
Right. So I opened up the chat a little bit to ask us questions and to give us comments, and I'm going to get to that in like 1 minute, but I have an announcement to make, and I haven't even told you yet, just because, you know, I wanted to keep it kind of a surprise. It doesn't really affect you in any way, but it affects me dearly. And like I said, repping Stay Fresh here, they've been partnered with me since, you know, like, really early on in the podcast. Like, they've given me shit to like give away to listeners, like right since like episode 2 or 3, and we use their space to do this and that, and they give me like unlimited access to shoes to, like, you know, take pictures of, review on video and whatnot. So I'm very grateful for them. And I'm actually going to be part of the team going into next weekend. I'm actually going to do Toronto SneakerCon, with Stay Fresh. So
Oh,
I'm in
very
Vancouver.
cool.
I don't know how. I know you're not very familiar with Canadian fucking geography, proven by Twitter a couple of weeks ago.
Shut up. Where's Joe at? Let me slap him.
That was fucking awesome. But you know,
Not my strong point.
Vancouver to Toronto is basically coast to coast, and we're actually flying all the way across 3 fucking time zones, and we're gonna be at the Toronto SneakerCon with Stay Fresh. So
Yo,
Stay
buy
Fresh,
me some off whites.
Stay Fresh hasn't even announced this yet. So
I'll Venmo you.
so Stay Fresh is gonna have their own table. They're gonna have some, as they always do at conventions. They don't really sell, you know, fucking Grail stuff, but they do have tons of below retail stuff. And this consignment store actually has a lot of really good deals. Like they will have stuff that's, you know, below retail on the week of release and everything. So we're gonna be doing that, and then we're also gonna be doing a huge buyout. So if the price is right and you're in Toronto or whatever, just come by and get your shoes adjusted, and like, you know, like you can negotiate for a buyout or consign with us or whatever. So yeah, that's my little announcement here. So next weekend I'm gonna be in Toronto for SneakerCon. So I'm kind of excited.
You should be. That's good news.
Yeah, man. But I think I'll be so obsessed with working the whole time that I might not enjoy it as much, and I'm not gonna like spend any money, dude. So it is what it is. So with that out of the way, let's finish it off with some questions and comments on this. All right.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Balenciaga Bobby, why was the Maya Moore AJ10 released in such limited quantities? I'm not quite familiar with this. Do you know anything about this?
No. I mean, what was it?
The Maya Moore, MAYAMOORE. Maya Moore AJ10 release. So while you look that up, I'm going to go on to the next. The next thing is Pierre's asking, does the recent Adidas scandal tarnish their rise to number 2? And we're talking about the NCAA thing. How they have maybe allegedly used money to influence certain players and athletes to play at certain facilities and schools. And this was like maybe days before or after that.
I can't find that sneaker, but go ahead.
This is like days after or before that they've officially been titled number 2 in America when it comes to athletic footwear. How do you feel about that quote-unquote scandal affecting Adidas in the long run?
I think it's something that they really did not need right now, especially for all the shit with kind of like how they have so much just sitting and how they're not really developing anything with the change. I really think that the only thing that Adidas has going for them is Kanye West.
So you're saying that Kanye West is like the last thing that Adidas has good going for it, or what are you saying exactly?
Yeah, I am. So if Kanye West woke up tomorrow and he's like, I'm going to sign with fucking Nike, fuck it. I'm going to make my own Air Jordan 1, Mr. West 1 or some shit, whatever. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. Everyone will be all over it. Okay. No one would give 2 shits anymore about it.
You know, like how passionate some of us are on the Sneakerphiles panel about Kanye West being a huge part of Adidas, and I agree he's a great influencer for the brand, but I actually think dollar wise, like I think Joe agrees as well, is that Pharrell probably quote unquote makes more money for Adidas than Kanye West, but you know, it's hard to say.
I don't know.
Like there's some
now with his new runner line that's coming out, the Calabasas line, all that kind of stuff, Yeezy Supply, different things like that, kind of intertwined with it.
We're talking about
power
footwear,
phases. Though. I know, but the power phases, yeah, the new runners that are coming out, but they're releasing those track pants, the Calabasas, on Adidas's website. So that's Adidas. So on footwear or not.
Here's the thing about the Adidas fucking being number 2, and when we're talking about being number 2. Just passing Jordan Brand as of late, that's like dollars and cents wise. And if you want to add up all the money that the Yeezy Boost has made, I'm guessing it doesn't even make a dent into the Adidas, the final numbers for Adidas. And that's what I'm talking about. But like, I can guarantee you that Pharrell and his Stan Smiths and his superstars probably raked in huge numbers. I'm not saying like people saw Pharrell at Adidas, now everyone wants Adidas. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. The intangible, the immeasurables would be Kanye West wears Adidas. Kanye West is signed with Adidas. That means the kids out there will be buying Adidas, even though it's not a Yeezy Boost. That's the immeasurable, and that's the thing that we can never kind of get a grasp of, is, you know, how much secondary dollars Kanye West is making for Adidas. Like, are the kids buying Superstars or Stan Smiths just because Kanye West is signed to Adidas? Like, that's the stuff that I personally won't be able to find out anytime soon.
Yeah, I still think it's Kanye.
That's fair enough. Like, I have a
and
feeling
celebrities wearing Ultra Boost because of the Kanye West like inspiration of it. That's what I think that kind of keeps it.
Timbastan says that the consortium part saves them too. That's very true. That a lot of the consortium lines, they have a very strong lineup of collaborations with Adidas, and of course that helps some recognition and some and a lot of, let's just say, a lot of eyeballs get to see the consortium line. So every time you open up your Twitter or your Instagram, you'll see like so and so collab with Adidas, and that Adidas name comes up quite a bit just because of that.
So I will say, one of the best Ultra Boosts, like hands down, is definitely the reigning champ.
Vancouver based, you know how much that means to me, so I totally agree.
So I think out of every Ultra Boost that has ever came out, besides I really do like the OG ones, I still have that in my collection. I would definitely say that the reigning champ is by far the best one.
So moving on, we got Victor Chow chiming in with something. He said that StockX sent him fake Yeezys. So
what? How did he find out?
I have no idea. He just said that StockX sent me blatantly fake Yeezys. And
I watched recently something on YouTube about Yeezy Busta. He did one for GOAT, and he like inspected them all, and he said it was good. But that's interesting with StockX. I don't doubt it, because a friend got a pair of Yeezys from StockX, and it didn't fucking look right when I saw it. And I just was like, he's like, no, they're StockX. They're StockX. Well, I was like, something's not right with the heel on them.
Here's the thing, man. StockX is, you know, a very self-governing app-based kind of thing, and you know, making the purchase, that's very monetized, and like everything is automatic when you make a purchase online. The only thing that's like manual and tangible is the actual legit checking process
authentication
of it, right? Of course, that's the huge part, and those are all done by people, real people, like using their hands and their eyes and their experience. At the same time, like the amount of shoes that must be going through that facility at all times, I wouldn't be surprised if there
insane.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are mistakes made, and like just chalk it up as human error. I don't know what the recovery or you know the return, or you know how you can file some sort of complaint or dispute with them. I don't know exactly how that works, but StockX is one of those things where they do guarantee authenticity and all that stuff. So I don't know how common that happens, or if the case that Victor Chow kind of presented, I don't know if that's absolutely accurate, but you know, like if it's done manually by hand by people, mistakes are bound to happen. Nobody's perfect. So
someone was trying to get done their shift at work, and they're like, nope, we got another one for you. He's like, they're good.
I gotta go.
I'm out. It's Friday night. Bay's waiting. Bye. Sorry, whoever these are going to.
So Balenciaga Bobby saying collabs are king in the lifestyle realm, and I absolutely agree that the collabs in the lifestyle realm of things is very, very important. It keeps every brand relevant. Because Nike's been around forever, right? Adidas been around for even longer than forever. And when these other brands that are relevant at a very small period of time, that's what trends and relevancy matter most. Like Supreme has been bigger and bigger every year. And anyone that gets a Supreme collab this year or last year, that's probably one of the biggest gets you can get, right? But it might be different for next year. Just because you have a Supreme collab this year doesn't mean next year that's going to do as hot. So anything contemporary, anything of in the moment, everything that's trendy, those collabs and consortium accounts and all that stuff, that's what dictates what will kind of rule the streetwear and lifestyle consumers. So yeah, man, they can sign all the athletes to 20-year deals all they want, but they might only be hot for 1 or 2 years, and having a very short-term relationship with Off-White, Supreme, and and whatever other brands collab, like having those tiny window single shoe release, that's very, very trendy and helps capture a lot of attention in the sneaker world.
I'll tell you what, if I can't get a pair of the off-white Vapor Maxes when they come out in November, I'm paying resale. Done deal. I need a pair of them in my collection.
That big of a fan, huh?
Yep. So, you know my love for Vapor Max.
Oh, we got a question for you.
Yeah.
Balenciaga Bobby's asking Brooke, what flavor are you vaping?
Well, wouldn't you like to know? It's actually called it's Rice Krispie Treats. It's super duper good.
Here we go with the breakfast cereals again.
Yeah, it's made by a brand called E-Snacks. I was going to tell you about this brand. The best deal ever. It's 120 milliliters, so it's like fucking huge, and it's $25, and it tastes so good.
120 mils?
Yeah, 120 mils. They have a whole lineup. I'll send you their Instagram. They got fruity shit for you too.
If it wasn't if it wasn't for vaping and you buying the juice, would you know what 120 mils look like?
It's 120 mils.
Because like,
probably not. No.
I went down to the States and I'm like,
it's a pretty big bottle.
Give me a coffee, a big one, because we have two bigs. I'm like, okay, stop right there. I'm like, how big is like your large or whatever? They're like, oh, it's 12 ounces. I'm like, what the fuck is an ounce? Like, I didn't know what 12 ounces meant, and like, I'm just guessing. I'm just dumb, or I don't know conversions.
It's like when you go to. Do you guys have Starbucks in Canada? Probably.
Dear Lord, of course we do.
Oh, I don't know. It's like when you order at Starbucks. Like, I can never get the fucking sizing right there. It's horrible.
That's what it is. Let's just check in with the chat one last time, and then I don't know. I'll let you go. How about that? All right. They gave me a full refund, but wouldn't admit they were fake. So Victor Chow saying StockX gave him a full refund, but wouldn't admit that, like, as in like, you know, like, we don't fuck up, but stop bitching. Here's your money back.
Did they give you any type of credit by any chance, or like a promotion code off of a next purchase? I wonder.
Why would they need to? StockX didn't fuck up.
Yeah.
Timbastan says, I passed on numerous release to double up on the OVO white 12s. Now I will hunt the cause 4s. Try to cop an off-white pair for trade. So off-white and cause 4 probably Nike's fucking secret weapon this year when it comes to the collab. That cause 4 came out of nowhere. Like,
yeah, it's nice.
I know Nike's worked with cause before. And you know, like, not to this kind of fervor in the sneaker world, and it didn't really disrupt the sneaker world as much as these Jordans did. So it's kind of interesting that Nike's going back to some of the artist series again, like Futura and Haze and all that stuff. Remember those lines with AF1s and all those, and Dunks and all that stuff? So it looks like they're going back to that and not just collaborating with just brands. So that's interesting. And would
you sell? Question for you: would you sell a pair of Yeezy Moonrocks for a pair of off-white Vapor Maxes?
That's tough. I'm gonna have to say, personally, no, I wouldn't. Just because those Yeezys were, you know, not easy for me to get and all this stuff, and like the Vapor Maxes will just probably be, you know, kind of a flex piece, whereas in the Yeezys, like, they'll be harder and harder to find all the time, you know? So
yeah.
If I just stumbled upon and I paid resale for the Moonrocks or whatever you want, Moonrocks, right? If it took me no effort and I just bought it because I had money, yeah, they wouldn't mean as much to me. So it's a sentimental thing for me, more so than, you know, a collection thing.
No, I agree.
Let's see. The OVOs are nice. That's true. I do. How do you feel about the OVO Jordans?
I like them. I would probably want the black ones. The white ones are super duper nice too, but I like them a lot. I'm a big fan of Drake, so I can dig them.
Perfect. So I guess we can start wrapping it up, man. Like we covered everything that you wanted to. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
I don't think so. I think I mean, I'm definitely, I don't know, since some of you guys had some bad luck with copping too many kits and getting some worn kits, but I'm definitely going to try for those Beasts tomorrow. I really like them a lot. I think they fit my style really well too. So I'm definitely going to try for that. And after that, I'm probably going to take a break on this buying, unless I'm really kind of going to be looking to save up for a pair of the Off-White Vapor Maxes. Or I also do like the Air Maxes, the Off-White ones, but that's about it. Oh, I did cop the OG Air Maxes too, and I like them. The quality's really good.
All right. So I guess that's basically all that we had to cover, and we're gonna just take off. And we try and keep the show. Buckeye City still says early wrap. It's not that we're wrapping early. It's just we always go way over every time we're on.
Oh, special announcement! I'm gonna put him on the spot. He said he's gonna be coming on in 2 weeks, so we're gonna have a little Three Musketeer action. So in 2 weeks, we're gonna have Buckeye City Soul on here. Hopefully, he still wants to do it after I just called him out on it.
So Buckeye is in the chat right now. So if you want to respond to that, like Kevin, just let us know in the chat whether or not you're interested in joining this little conversation. And of course, you can find us easily. Everything's on screen at all times, so you can find. You can find me at www.sneakerphiles.com. You can find me on Twitter at Sneakerphiles and on Instagram at Sneakerphiles_podcast. And thanks everyone again for joining in live. And of course, if you're watching this on the repeat or on our YouTube channel, just do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit that like button. That would mean a lot to me. And I'll let you sign out now, Brooke.
All right, cool. Thanks so much, guys, for your participation. You'll catch us next week. We'll have some more fun stuff to talk about. Once again, thank you, and follow me at Twitter, BrookieDoo, and Instagram, BrookieDoo, and check out my blog. I'm going to be posting my full review on the kits and a little backstory about them and why they are special. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. We're out.